Can they stop? Can they stop, please? No, really. Could they please stop just teasing the inevitable? I'm begging them because every time they win, it's like, just stop, man. Just stop teasing the inevitable here. I'm sorry. I can't do it because they're trying their best right now to keep us all involved to the last minute when you just know inevitably they're going to just miss it. You just know that's what it's going to be, right? Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I just feel like it's going to be. But anyway, welcome on into the Rangers post game show here. Leave a like on your way in, subscribe if you're new to the channel, turn on your notifications so you know I upload or go live. The Rangers beat the Minnesota Wild in overtime because the Mets had to go extra innings. The Rangers had to go to overtime. Just give me a damn break for a second here, please. At least tomorrow I do. But either way, yeah, how the hell did they win this game? I have no clue. Truthfully, I don't know at all how they won this game. And it's not that they necessarily played poorly this game in terms of just certain points. Like the start of the game was fine. They started the second period off fine, but there were just so many hiccups yet again from this team defensively. Just the inability to move the puck. Again, I am a broken record here at this point talking about these games. You had Gabe Perrault, who had a really good NHL debut, though. That I will say. So good that he actually scored just for the wrong team, unfortunately. But either way, all jokes aside, he actually looked fine in his debut. This power play is still broken. You know, it is what it is, though, with this team. The one thing that I will say, though, the thing that I want to highlight the most here before I talk more about this game, I love Matt Zuccarello. I love the guy. And it has to be said because of what he did in warmups today, where he's rocking the number 40 Sam Rosen jersey in warmups. It pains me every single time that this guy is just still not a Ranger because I love him. I really do. And he almost ended up on the score sheet tonight, which usually is a free bet there for him. So everyone that put money on a Zuccarello anytime goal scorer got a little screwed there by that call, which is the right call with the way they're calling goalie interference. Do I agree with the way they're calling it this year? No, but it is the right call with the way they are. But Zuccarello rocking the number 40 Sam Rosen jersey. I absolutely love that. And I do love that TNT is letting Sam Rosen and John Davidson do the game. What is it, on April 9th, I believe, against the Flyers, if I'm not mistaken. That is going to be awesome as well. So those are two highlights that I have to take away from the night is that. But I miss him. I miss him all the damn time. And I see the comment right there, and I was just about to say that too. You got to wonder what happens in 2015 if he doesn't get injured in that first round against Pittsburgh. You have to wonder if things go differently, but that's neither here nor there. I'm not here to play revisionist history tonight. I'm here to talk about this game, which, again, not that there's much to recap here. The power play for Minnesota was working. The Rangers wasn't, and almost bit the Rangers in the ass. Vinny Trocheck had a horrendous game, but of course I can't say anything because he scored the OT winner, right? Because that's how this works. Even on that first goal where he turns it over right to Gus Nyquist, there was no reason for Lafreniere to take that penalty. Before that, though, I do want to say I found it really funny that Gabe Perrault already is fitting right into the Rangers theme here, where he gets an opportunity, absolutely snatches Matt Zuccarello's ankles, gets an opportunity in the slot to rip one, and he decides to pass it to Lafreniere, which should have been a goal there. Lafreniere needs to get the puck there and bury that, but I just love how Gabe's already fitting right in and passing up that opportunity right then and there. With that, the Rangers' goal, though, because they did end up scoring not too long after, you have that rebound chance there from Vakanainen jumping into the play, and then Schneider ends up getting the rebound as he jumped into the play. But the Wild wouldn't take too long to score after that, and that's where Gabe Perrault had the goal on his had the goal there on his own net as Brock Faber puts it on net, and it goes off of him and in. What are you going to do? And Gustafsson, I don't know how he let in that Keandre Miller goal, but he did from that horrible angle. It is what it is. Chris Kreider gets a happy birthday gift from Chisholm and ends up bearing that one. Marcus Johansson scored shorthanded as Trocheck just gifts it in the neutral zone. Because again, this power play is broken. They are, I think they've scored twice, it was on their last 41 attempts. That's what Peter Ball was tweeting. All right. Wonderful. Then you had the Panarin goal as well. And he scored on a breakaway. Can you believe it? Keandre Miller on the Rossi goal. Happy birthday to him with that absolute pizza delivery there. And Rossi just takes it, ends up giving it to Boldy there, gets the rebound, the score. Vinny Trocheck wins the game in overtime. Weird game. Really weird game. The Rangers doing what they typically do. Just doing what they typically do. Again, I'm not going to sit here and be a broken record. They allowed a lot of loud chances in this game, as Laviolette likes to say. They didn't allow the quantity, they allowed the quality. And they end up getting the win, though. But the thing that annoys me is that just stop teasing the inevitable here, because just what? Montreal's going to beat Boston tomorrow? Just, it will happen. It will happen, right? Either that or the Rangers maybe sneak into a spot for a day and then they just absolutely urinate all over themselves like they have all season long there. I digress. That's why, truthfully, I wouldn't have cared one bit if they lost this game, just because I don't want them to tease at this point. I don't. And I've said it over the past few live streams. I don't care how bad of a fan it makes me sound. I have moved on. I am at the point where I am okay with not watching 4 to 7 extra games of this season. I will pass on that. I will absolutely pass on that. If the Rangers get into the playoffs, go ahead and surprise me. I have no expectations. I would rather just get the extended summer, but that is just me. And based on how they play, especially, again, the power play, probably deserve to. And the fact that they allowed as many goals as they did to the Wild is also kind of strange, considering the Wild are not a high-scoring team at all. I think that on the broadcast, Sam and Joe were talking about how they average like 2 goals a game, especially without Kaprizov being in that lineup, which wouldn't surprise me one bit. Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at their schedule, just a lot of games where 1 goal, 2 goals. Yeah. So, anyway, let me get to the chat, see what you guys are saying. Like I said, leave a like if you haven't already. Subscribe, turn on your notifications, all that stuff. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat right now. Would love to hear what you guys are saying. Believe Gabe had 3 shots on goal. Not too bad for a first NHL game. What do I think? I think Gabe was great. I think maybe great's a stretch because he didn't register a point. And, I would have liked to have seen him shoot there. I know his game is pass first, but I would have liked for him to shoot in the slot there. He was good, though. He had a good game. I think he was good, yeah. That's really my thoughts. Like, I don't have any extensive thoughts because, to be honest with you as well, I mostly didn't watch the first period entirely. I was half paying attention as I was trying to watch the Mets in extra innings, and then this game on my iPad, I was trying to look back and forth there, rewind, all that stuff. So, yeah, Keandre Miller had more giveaways than there are in a Mr. Beast video. I mean, that's the Keandre Miller experience, though, and they gotta move on from him this offseason. I think I stand by what I said, that I think he gets, I don't know if I want to say he gets overhated, because a lot of it is rightful criticism with him. But I do think that, I don't know, like I'm split at times on him, because he shows the tools of being a good NHL defenseman at times, and then you just see nights like this where he's giving the puck away every 2 seconds and just making boneheaded plays. It's just the problem is it's peaks and valleys. I mean, he is what this Ranger season has been for the most part. And yeah, I mean, it was a team thing tonight too, because you had Carson Soucy, which don't even get me started with Carson Soucy. I mean, that guy absolutely stinks. I don't think I'm breaking news to anyone here, though. Carson Soucy absolutely stinks. And the fact that they gave up a third round pick for him, I don't care. Say a third round pick isn't much. To me, that was that was stupid. That was just absolutely stupid. He's terrible. And this I agree with. Like the hockey sense just isn't there. It's always been up here. It's always been up here with Keandre. Or up there, whatever. What did DeHaan do to refuse Laviolette to play him? I don't think DeHaan was anything great. Like, I didn't love DeHaan when he played either, so I get it. But, I mean, Carson Soucy just blows. I'd rather just see Zach Jones in there. I know that's going to get a lot of hate because I know that people are split on Zach Jones. You either love him or hate him. But I'd rather see Zach Jones. I'd rather boost his trade value up because he's a young player, and at the very least, you could get something better for him if you showcase him. But again, that's just me. Yeah, this is pretty much it. I mean, he's a taller Ryan Lindgren. I mean, this I could maybe get behind that you take probably DeHaan over Carson Soucy, but I mean, we're talking shit versus diarrhea here, to be truthful with you. Like, neither of them are good. Yeah, Matt Zuccarello, 5'8", bumps 6'5" Carson Soucy off the puck, which is why size is one of the most overrated things in this game. Pause, but it's true. Like, it's an overrated attribute. We've won 2 in a row, scheduled a loss Saturday. That didn't even clock with me, honestly, because I forgot it. It's been so long since our last game that I forgot that they actually won it. But yeah, that's actually a fact that probably a scheduled loss then on Saturday. Of course, it's an afternoon game. Why wouldn't it be an afternoon game? But that's what I'm saying. Like, the tease, the tease. Sorry, I'm just curious now. Yeah, the Mets are a night game on Saturday. Thank God. Thank goodness. Size only overrated when players don't know how to use their size. Pause. Yeah, I agree with that. And if a guy's tall and can't skate, like, it is what it is. That's the thing. That's why it's an overrated thing. Size is at best a tie breaker attribute if two players are relatively close in talent with the bigger guy, but going with the bigger guy solely because he's bigger is stupid. Exactly. That's a perfect way of putting it, Steven. Yeah. Kreider padding his stats too. I haven't said anything about Kreider outside of, mentioning that he scored because, I'm going to try. I'm trying to be sober, even though on Twitter I kind of hinted at it. I'm trying to go sober the last games of the season here without ripping Chris Kreider because I know that the departure's coming, and I will save everything for then. Kreider's now one of only 3 players since 1937 to have 20 goals with 4 or fewer assists in a season. Franchise icon. I don't know if Lafreniere's gone this summer. Realistically, I've said this for weeks now. I don't know if I see any big changes happening. I think at most Miller and Kreider go. That's what I think at most will happen. And I could be wrong with that, but that's just my opinion. Because I have nothing to base that on. Look up. That's where that number's going. That's what Laviolette said about the power play. Wonderful. It's not like we are stuck on one thing. We are moving stuff around. Sure. Sure thing. I mean, if that's what he thinks the problem is, then sure. 1 for 25, 2 for their last like 40 plus. And we're going to say that same exact thing. The Rangers are showcasing Othmann. Perrault. Rangers will trade them for 35 has-beens. That's the Rangers' way. It wouldn't shock me. For a couple of third-pair defensemen. Honestly, I'm very impressed that the Rangers actually gave Perrault more ice time than I thought, because I tweeted actually, and I'm sure a lot of you guys participated in that tweet where I said predict Gabe Perreault's ice time for his first NHL game. And the reason I even tweeted that is because I was talking to my brother earlier in the day, and I was like, I got to tweet and see if there's people that are overly optimistic or if there's people that are going to say like 3 minutes of ice time. My prediction, I want to get it up. I think I said 11 minutes and 13 seconds. He ended up getting over on that one. And at G5 to the sky, ended up getting it right with 13:38. Would have liked still more, but it is what it is. This year's first rounder or next year's, hopefully they make the playoffs to save that pick. Well, thankfully, and this is why I don't care anymore if they miss the playoffs. Apparently, and this is per Kyle Dubas, this is from the horse's mouth himself. Apparently, the Rangers make the decision if they want to transfer it to next year's pick, or if they want to hold on, or if they want to hold on and transfer it, or if they give Pittsburgh this year's pick and then they have their own pick next year. Apparently, they get to make the final decision, thankfully. So if that's the case, I don't care if they miss the playoffs. But I would, unless the pick is top 5, then I would give Pittsburgh the pick. Because if you have a chance next year, and I don't know how good or bad this team's going to be, I would lean towards not making the playoffs, but we have to see how the offseason goes and everything, of course. But if they have a chance where Gavin McKenna could be a Ranger, I mean, that would be electric. Electric to watch them bury him on the 4th line and ruin him, sure, because I know those comments are going to come in, and I know everyone's thinking it, and honestly, it's fair. But he is one of those talents, and I mean, we heard it with Bedard, and Bedard's kind of been a little up and down throughout his career thus far, but he is being compared to like the top end talents of first overall picks. Like not what we're hearing right now with whoever even goes first, because we don't even know who goes first this year because it's a mixed bag right now. but Gavin McKenna's hyped up to be like one of the next big things in this league. So if the Rangers have an opportunity to get him, I would love that. Yeah, Joe McAlay's been shadow coaching this team on the broadcast. He's one of us, so I do it. I agree with this. That it's hard to get excited about prospects with this team anymore. I can't disagree there. And even though Gabe looked good in his first game, I just, again, it's one game. It is one game from him. And Emery did not have a good first year in college. And I want to make it clear because I think my tweet got a little misconstrued there. I can't say the word. I think that it got taken out of context a little bit. I'll just say that because I can't talk apparently. I think that my tweet got taken out of context a little bit in terms of what I said with EJ Emery. I am not writing him off, but the fact that there was no improvement at all from him at the college level is very concerning. Let's see. Yeah, he didn't get invited to US to the US camp. He had one assist as well. And I get that people are going to say, well, it's a defenseman. You can't really judge on points. And I'm not disagreeing, but if he's so good in his own end, I feel like he would accidentally get a few assists, moving the puck in transition or just something. Like, I feel like he should accidentally get his way into a couple more assists here. But that's just me. But I am not writing him off because at the end of the day, it is 1 year, but I'm definitely very concerned. I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm not. But yeah, just very alarming stuff that there really was not any improvements there. Yeah, and I mean, I agree with this. I agree with this. Again, I want the extended break here. And that's coming from someone that makes makes money off of this team playing by covering these games. So that's coming from me. That I am more than okay with them missing the playoffs. Which there will be off-season content, but the playoff views are a different animal. You guys could filter my most popular content. I guarantee you that the top 3 most popular live streams are probably playoff games. Let's fact check that one. It's actually wrong. All right. I mean, still a lot of them are. Number 1 is Game 6 last year from Florida. That's not a surprise. Um, a December loss against New Jersey being up there is not surprising, but it is Devil fans live for it. They live to eat this up, which I'm surprised that those post games from that series against them doesn't have more views. Yeah, game 3 loss, or no, that's a win actually. That has views. Very surprised about that one. I'm surprised by these results. The Kako trade has the third most, which is interesting. Um, Free agency reaction from last year, where everyone could watch me get mad at Sam Carrick getting signed. Um, the JT Miller trade. Like, how does the game against Nashville have cracked the top 10 in views? I'm very confused right now. I guess I was off base with that entirely. I was very off base with what I thought had the most views on the channel. Well, interesting though. Do I think whether they sneak in or miss, if they keep Fire Laviolette, I want him gone badly? Well, I have good news and I have bad news, Nicole, to this one. The good news is I really feel like the wish is going to come true for most Ranger fans that Laviolette's going to be fired. The bad news is I I have nothing to base this on other than my gut feeling, and I forgot who brought it up. It might have been Frank Saravalli that brought up how Tortorella could be on the table because of his relationship with Dolan. Chris Drury, we know that he would love probably to bring Tortorella in, especially because we know he loves his US guys. I would not be surprised if they fired Laviolette this offseason and brought in John Tortorella. It was Drager. Okay, it was Drager. I have nothing to base that on other than the Drager thing, and on top of that, a gut feeling because I could just totally see a world where they bring Tortorella in. But like the only way that I think maybe Tortorella wouldn't come in is if Sullivan finally gets fired from Pittsburgh, but I'm also kind of done doing that gimmick because every year I think, okay, this is the year he's getting fired. Okay, this is the year he's getting fired. Okay, this is the year. So I'm kind of done doing the whole Sullivan's getting fired gimmick. I have to see it to believe it. If he gets fired, maybe that changes things. But I just get this gut feeling they're gonna bring John Tortorella in. I don't know why. I just get this gut feeling. And yeah, Torts might equal McKenna until he buries McKenna in the bottom six and sits him for stick handling. Cooper wouldn't be available until after next season, and that's if he doesn't get a new contract, which I don't know if he's going to or not. Again, I have no insight on that. I would probably lean towards the fact that he's going to stay in Tampa Bay just because why the hell wouldn't he? But I could be wrong there, and I would love for them to. Every team should be lining up to get John Cooper if that ends up being the case. But outside of money, I don't know why he would come here. That's the only problem there. But I would love John Cooper. Would love John Cooper. Hot take question. I want David Carl so bad, which is not happening. But if one team was to hire him, who would it be? That's a good question. I would love David Carl. That would be a guy that's on the top of my list for the Rangers to hire because I think new blood is needed. And the only retreads that I would accept that I've said are Sullivan and Cooper at this point. In terms of who would hire Carl, I'm not quite sure, honestly. That's a good question, but I'm honestly not even sure. I mean, maybe maybe Chicago. But I also just don't know when he's going to come in to be a coach. Like if it's this upcoming season, I could see Chicago being in. I could see if Pittsburgh does fire Sullivan, I could see them being in on him. But a lot could change for whenever he becomes available. Yeah, like Utah can make sense too. Flyers are doing better since he got fired too. And yeah, Carl could be the Flyers' next coach. That's a good point too. Yes, I am still a fan of Peverley. Um, there are a couple of names I like for the GM gig if the Rangers were to fire Drury, but I've stood on this ground that I don't think they're firing Drury. I think that he's going to get a chance to right a lot of the wrongs that he's made. Do I agree with it? Fuck no. Do I trust him? Fuck no. But I just feel like he's going to get another chance. He's going to hire another coach, which is also kind of bullshit. I would like Peverley. I would like Sonny Meta from Florida. But I, again, I don't think realistically it's going to happen. Yeah, I mean, they have been a much better team since Tortorella has left. Mitchkov's been lighting it up. How many fire coaches would the Rangers be paying? Two fire coaches and then an active coach if they made a change, because it would be Gallant, who I think is on the books for one more year, if I'm not mistaken. Because, or did he get 3 years? No, this would be his last year, even if he got four. Okay, so Gallant wouldn't be on the books unless he got. I don't know how many years did Gerard Gallant get. I don't know why I'm forgetting. He got a 4-year contract. Okay, so he's off the books after this year, but Laviolette then would be on the books. All right. I'm gonna wrap up the live stream here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe, turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live on the channel next. I'll see you guys in the next one.